Journal entry, 22nd of the month of October, in the year of our Lord, 1120. After my mother passed away in her sleep, my father was not the same. He would wander the corridors at night at times, smiling, talking to her as if she was still with us. She must have been calling for him from heaven's gate, as he has followed her into the Lord's embrace and into the next life. A day of great mourning was called throughout the duchy, and people, both noble and commoner, arrived from far and wide to pay their respects to the greatest hero of our age, Duke Bernard of Toulouse, Knight of the Swan, father of the Queen of Jerusalem, legendary blade master, wise man, hunter, architect, and famous traveler, and founder and head of House de Villeron. He was laid to rest next to his wife at the small cemetery at Toulouse Castle. I'm sure they watch us from the heavens, where he is busy regaling the angels and saints with tales of their exploits, while she sits next to him smiling. Thus it falls unto me, the burden I have so long dreaded. I shall be Duke Aldéric of Toulouse, together with Bothilde, my Duchess, who has convinced me to show my face, or what's left of it, to the world. Raoulf has become Count of Rouergue, Ogier is now Count de Milhaud, and Antoine is Count de Gévaudan. What news is brought from Queen Élodie of Jerusalem fills me with fright for my little sister. Always headstrong and going against everyone's will, she is now ruling alone, as her husband was slain in battle. It is said that Jerusalem is at war with the Emperor of Byzantium, all the while seeing a rebellion of the locals in Gaza. Alas, I have my own duchy to bring under my control, and nothing but prayers to spare for her. I wished she would have remained, but the tides of fate have washed us elsewhere. May the Lord forgive her sins and show her mercy. And with that, we are playing as the Duke Aldéric of Toulouse, after Duke Bernard the Strange got injured and died at the age of 70, following his wife, who had died very shortly before that. And a great hero has left, the greatest hero of our times probably. And with him, the whole structure has changed. So we now actually have a lot of organizing to do, because we now have Antoine, who has taken over Gévaudan. We've got Raoulf, who got injured in the Holy War in Jerusalem, and who is the Count of Rouergue, and we've got Ogier, who was away for so long, who is now the Count of Milhaud. Especially Ogier is not particularly pleased, and he is joining in the other mayors in their ambition, and we obviously have lost direct reporting control over the various mayors in the regions, because they're now reporting to the respective counts, and the counts are my direct subjects. So Duke Aldéric of Toulouse was severely disfigured, but then so is his wife, and she has convinced him that he needs to show his face to his people now that he's the Duke. So first things first, we obviously only have the income from the direct holdings, and we have whatever the vassals are paying, and the men-at-arms are taking up most of our coin. So the tax contribution from the vassals is relatively low, I may say that. 1.6 gold per month does not account for an awful lot. So we don't have much gold to spare, but we do have coffers that are filled, and Toulouse continues to be a beacon of development as we go, and so is Beaumont-sur-Lèze, which is our other direct castle holding that we have in the county of Toulouse. But we have to select a lifestyle. So for now, we've got a few perks to unlock really. We've got one in diplomacy. Okay. I do need to select a focus for it, but I don't want to necessarily start the lifestyle. Okay, so I can't actually unlock these unless I would start the specific lifestyle. What's the what's the control levels? Now our control is perfectly fine, and right now the empire is at peace as well. So there's less of a war going on. Jerusalem not so much. So Queen Elodie is leading her own troops, and I think she has taken on much more in her ambition. She has taken on much more than she should have by attacking the Byzantine Empire. I think she has gone quite insane with power. Unfortunately, thus is the fate that she has fallen into. So we can't really help very much there. So right now, in terms of lifestyle, learning. Okay, so we've got the we have the we have the scholar. We've been following the scholarship. So we've got that going, and 20% of counselors' primary skills added to our own. That's pretty good. This would be by claims, and then scholar would give us development, growth, as well as additional learning. So we could continue with learning for now. However, I am also going to have to deal with the army, and right now we don't have any of the military perks. So we've only got 11 knights overall. The accolade obviously needs to be given to somebody, because I have actually. Can we actually give that to somebody? So Heinrich would be the successor, but I can't select an acclaimed knight because I was the one holding it before. So I'm not entirely certain how this is going to work. But yeah, most of my armed forces are now unstationed because they're outside, and the number of levies available is lower. So the martial tree would give us the benefits of the army power, as well as we could get the chivalric dominance, which is quite important on the gallant side for knight effectiveness. Diplomacy would be another option, or we continue down with learning and the scholarship focus for now. But I feel like because this is the education as well. So Aldéric is an astute intellectual. And while he is very proficient, and I think I do need to equip all my. Oh yeah, no, I've automatically equipped everything. So the journal will now actually give me 40% monthly lifestyle experience. So that's massive, because that should. So if I were to pick that, I should get a. Oh, here we go. Martial plus 42 per month. So we could take the authority, the chivalry focus, and become a knight in father's image. I think that's the first thing I'm going to be doing probably, and then we'll switch over. We could also go into stewardship. Stewardship would be good as well, because we could get increased taxes and. Yeah, the whole architect tree, but I feel like for now we must secure our lands, and the chivalry focus is what we're going to be taking. So yeah, the travels of Bernard de Villeron give me the 40% experience bonus, which is quite significant. So we'll select that, and we have 1 point to go. So we're going into stalwart leader, and then into chivalric dominance, and then we'll go into the strategist focus. So let's get that done, and then after that we'll switch. We can switch back to learning to get the scholar, and then probably the whole of body, and potentially we'll do stewardship at some point for the architect, and diplomacy might be quite interesting as well. But we can't select these. Oh no, we can actually now select. Oh, because we have taken one. Okay, there we go. I was thinking that's weird. Knight effectiveness, heart of the family, yes. I'll try to step into my father's footsteps. That should improve the opinion. Yeah, that it has improved the opinion of my brothers, who are my subjects now. And yeah, there we go. No kids, no children directly yet. So the succession would go into Raoulf, my oldest brother. And would we eventually want to go into higher crown authority? I'm not sure of that yet. For now, we've still got Kelsey as well. So we're holding Kelsey too. Hang on, let me see. So Kelsey, yeah, we're holding Kelsey as well directly, except for the city. But there is actually an empty spot in Kelsey where we could construct a new castle if we were so inclined. We do have already Kelsey Castle itself though, but we could construct another castle here. So we're holding Toulouse and Kelsey, and then Roerge, Milot, and Gévaudan are held by my brothers. All right, that means we're probably going to have to. We've still got Bishop Alain of Toulouse, but he is infirm, and hopefully, once he will leave, then things will get a little better. Ebon is still the spymaster, and Milo is the marshal, and Leonor, the spymaster. Leonor, the spymaster. Sorry, Ebon's the chancellor. Leonor, the spymaster. But we do need a new steward, and I don't really have anybody available who is particularly qualified. And by the looks of it, they do have to be male. So let's have a quick look. Who is unmarried and female? It's just Amazons. So we could. Her husband has died. Has died 3 years ago. So in her old age, we could see if we could find somebody to keep her company. We sort that by stewardship. We have he's getting on there in age as well already. We've got let's see. We've got Eckbert von Tübingen. He's very honorable but also very greedy. Or Albrecht von Wassenberg, who's a bit younger, and I think is the more righteous among the two. He's also greedy and honorable. So yeah, they're pretty similar. The House of Blanche-Garde and the House of Wassenberg, or the House of Tübingen. He's a bit younger, so we'll see if we can get him into a matrilineal wedding. Yep. This is only for the convenience, and then he can become our new steward, because I think the previous steward has died actually, and with that we don't have a personal champion. Let's see who would be. We've got a few knights. Don't even remember him. Leuthold. Oh, he's the husband of Ines. Okay. Yeah, he sounds like an excellent person. Leuthold shall be our personal champion. We do not have a court chronicler currently, and we do need 2 bodyguards. Mushin Jamalid has proven himself to be a trustworthy man in my father's service, so we will appoint him. And we shall appoint Heinrich as well. So we've got these 2 as our bodyguards. We don't have a court jester, so now most of the things are sorted out. So if we reset that all. I don't know how many more children we actually have. Yeah, very few children, because a lot of them have actually moved off. We've got Takulf von Nassau, who is the grandson of Takulf, who's the son of Volkhard, but he is a bit of a villain, so I'm not particularly interested in. We'll see if we keep him on court. We've got Charles, who was the ward of was the ward of my father. So he can stay on court. We've got Aldéric, who is the son of Ebon and Cécile, who currently has no guardian. So we get, I shall not do this myself, I've got many things to do, but we can get Ebon to deal with that. And we've got Baudouin, who is of age, who has come of age, who is pretty average, but who is the son of Emmanuel and Piroshka. Emmanuel being the master of the horse. And then we've got Volker, who is the husband of the Bohuslava. And we have Ethelberg, who is obviously affected by leprosy. So again, this is simply to get Wiegerich Kaunitz from House Kaunitz to be available as one of our knights. And he should be, he's pretty much at the top of things. So we'll see if this sorts itself out. Not entirely certain how to do that otherwise. All right, so we've got that sorted, and the Duchess Wothild, my wife, who is also who's still suffering from her wounds and probably will for the rest of her life. He is now Duchess of Toulouse. All right, we have no factions going on, and we have an empty council position. Yeah, the steward, we're going to fill that potentially. We could alternatively, we could get Antoine to be our steward, because he is relatively qualified, but that would make him happy, because he would like a seat on the council. But they're going to have to, it is a meritocracy, so they're going to have to deal with that. We have legends to potentially start. The mighty endeavor of de Villeron, and it would be a legitimizing legend. It would give us renown, stewardship, and development, which would be great, but we don't have the coin for it. This is simply too expensive. So instead, I think we'll keep improving the lands. We still have the county of Quercy, where we could construct another castle to further secure the north. We've already got the city of Cahors. We've got the temple at Figeac. So that would leave us free to construct another castle, although that would be expensive, to say the least. But other than that, I don't think there's much we can do. We can do to necessarily still improve the holdings that we already have. Could improve this the harbor, but other than that, I think that's what we'll do. We'll construct a new castle, and with that, that's under our control. So we've got a lot of things to review. I'm in line to inherit titles. So obviously, the County of Gaza, the Duchy of Palestine, the County of Jerusalem, and the Kingdom of Jerusalem, because the obviously Princess Peronella, the daughter of Elodie, would be the first in line of succession, but we'll see how that goes. And I'm third in line for these things as well, apparently. We could negotiate some alliances with my brothers, and I think that's a great idea. So if ever anything happens. We've got my brother-in-law, Duke Roger II, who is the husband of Faidida, the Princess of Fashion of Apulia, but he will not accept. He would not accept if we did that, and we could ask the Pope to the new Pope, Pope Victor III, for some coin, but for now we shall make do with what we have. We've got the vassals who are expecting court positions, yes, but they are only if they're qualified, and we're short. We are missing many a knight, so that's a problem for another day. but we do have to stay. We do have men at arms that are unstationed. Now, what could we where could we ideally station them? Beaumont-sur-Lez, and then we got the bowmen, and we'll station them in Quercy. All right, and that is that. And they're actually too large, which I don't know if that has any negative effects at this point, but that's probably due to my lack of military skill. So we'll leave that as is. But our income is scarce, our expenses are many, and we will have to see how we can improve this situation going forward. First, however, we have to mourn Duke Bernat III, my father, the legendary hero. Toulouse is to be his final resting place, and I'm left alone to gather my thoughts and prepare for the arrival of the honored mourners. And we are waiting for the guests. It's going to take 6 months for everybody to arrive, but in the meantime, Ogier has signed the alliance. Heinrich has become the successor for the Swords of the Plains, and it looks like Antoine has created a faction against me. So as soon as my father is not, we're not yet finished mourning my father, and he already begins questioning my right to rule. So he's trying to get Raoulf to lead. I do not know what it is that that has angered Antoine so much. Maybe he sees me as not fit to rule, and he would prefer his brother Raoulf. But that means we have now a faction. Right now it's Antoine, okay, and Raoulf, and potentially Ogier if he was going to join them as well. I am disappointed with my brothers that as soon as my father has just died and they're already plotting. There are whispers about the tales and deeds of my father, legendary figure Duke Bernat, everywhere I go. Near or far, it seems there is nobody who has not heard his name. I wonder, will I always stay in the shadow of my father, or will I be able to achieve as much fame in my life as him? How high will I be able to climb? So we could choose prestige gain for stress gain, or we could get prestige loss. No, I think Aldéric all his life has been looking up to his father, to the legendary figure that he was. And one day I will be like you. I think that is his aspiration that he's forming in life. Now, Raoulf has signed an alliance, which means, does that preclude the intrigues of Antoine and reduced his ambitions? We shall see. Maybe the alliance is not worth the paper it is being printed on. So and Albrecht will be joining. So so the alliances have been signed, and with that, the villainous attempt of Antoine to immediately use the situation to install his brother as king or as duke instead of me has ended as well. And that means now we can assign Albrecht von Wassenberg as our steward, who is a blade master as well as a learned man. So he knows how to fight. He's a scholarly courtier and an administrator. So he is perfectly qualified, and he will be working immediately on the increasing development tools. We could get him to improve our taxes, but it's only 14%. So it would not be a great. It would not be a great amount. Meanwhile, the guests are assembling, and it looks like Amaneus is no longer my garden hermit. Not sure why. It could be because of his health. but the position has been vacated. We've lost the garden hermit position altogether. That might be because because we don't have gardens anymore, because we're building too much. Don't know where it went. Garden hermit, court gardener. There it's garden hermit. Okay, I have to find him during my travels. Right. That's why it doesn't work anymore. All right, so he hasn't died. Just the precondition has been removed. So in the meantime, we are assembling for the beginning of the funeral. I gaze upon Duke Bernard of Toulouse in quiet contemplation, interrupted only by the occasional well-wishing offering their sympathies. Fiend! Ogre! Bumpot! You dare call yourself Duke? My sister, Duchess Fidida, hurls herself towards me, furious fingers waving inches from my face. Duke Bernard of Toulouse had designs for me to rule in his place. Villain! We are... I don't care. This is not the occasion. This is not the opportunity. This is completely uncalled for. I will not remove her because she is, after all, my sister. But I don't care about her at all at this point. So there will be no alliance between us and Apulia. In a quiet corner of the church, I overhear Count Raoulf of Rouergue chatting with a group of mourners. He somberly gestures me over. We all have fond memories of Duke Bernard of Toulouse. I was just talking about the time I inherited the county of Rouergue from my father, Duke Bernard. Tell me, have you any memories to share? It's a little awkward because we're actually brothers, so the dialogue doesn't just quite working that well. Could do a diplomacy challenge to gain some piety, but we could also or I can just lose some stress. I think losing stress is probably the better option at this point. So memories are too painful. We're just losing some stress here. Before me, a feasting table stocked high with all manner of food and drink, as if my father were still trying to offer a final act of magnanimity before parting. Bergon of the Roebucks of Poitiers has so far refused to lay a finger on this banquet, however, swilling his goblet around in idle solace. His middle-distance stare falls warily upon me, and with a quiet nod he raises his drink high. To Duke Bernard of Toulouse, truly one of the greats. So I could do a diplomacy challenge, not looking for legitimacy at this point. We are at rightful, we don't need to lose any more stress. So we can talk to him actually, or we could simply toast. I think toasting is the best option here. We'll simply toast to his memory. And Bothild has brought news that she is with child, so that is good news at all in total. I'm going to get for the chivalric dominance. I wonder where that one army size went. I can't remember seeing that anywhere. It should have been in the strategist, I would assume. The men-at-arms size. I have no idea where that came from. Enduring hardships might also be good to get eventually. But I don't see any men-at-arms size +1, so not sure. Anyway, we get chivalric dominance for now. And then we might still go for never back down, and potentially then take the strategist tree. But for now we continue the mourning. All eyes fall upon my brother Raoulf as he falls to the ground in lamentation, hands coating his reddened eyes from view. Raoul's sorrowful gasps and choke have left his fellow mourners breathless, and many offer him comfort and reverence as if it were him who was to be committed to the hereafter. So again, we can get legitimacy, or I think I shall offer comfort to my brother. This is what my father would have wanted, rather than me trying to stand out. So we'll offer him comfort. And we have discovered the household soldiers innovation while I wasn't looking. So let's have a quick look what that does. Otherwise I'll forget. It was one of these, I think. Yes, there it is. Okay, size of men-at-arms regiments +3. So that should have solved that particular problem. Yes, it has. Okay, so we could actually even create another men-at-arms regiment now, which is good to know. So, but that's not our fascination. Our fascination is with the battlements, which will allow us, which is 10 years away, but which will allow us to improve the castles in Toulouse. The sorrowful line marches on, and the line to have at last a moment with Bernat, a last whisper, a last long goodbye, a last nothing at the last place anyone will see him again. Truly, a privilege it is to be here. The line brings me ever closer until at last the figure in front of me parts, and there is nothing but a veil between me and him. I think I'll speak of his virtues. Yeah, I don't want to rule in his honor. I'm simply just going to extol the virtues of my father. So we'll do that, and that'll give everybody an idea. What kind of meat is this, so rich in flavor? What are these vegetables, almost sweet? Oh, and these wonderful little desserts. This feast is some of the best food I've ever tasted. We get life reaffirmed for 5 years, which is great, because life is what we always look for. I feel quiet calm wash over me, gazing around the room of mourners. Some eyes are stained red, others would see this as like any other cause for a gathering. One soul, however, looks to me with uncertainty as he tugs at my side. My nephew Borel does not weep openly, but does not seem unmoved like many other children present. Duke Aldéric, what will happen to Bernat? Why is everybody sad? We could, we'll explain that he is with the Lord together with his grandmother. Borel is the son of Raoulf, so I think he's the youngest. Oh no, he's the second. Ubol is the youngest. He is the second. He is in heaven now, together with your grandmother. And he will be comforted from that. That's what we're here for, after all. The shadows of mourners no longer loom over me, and I am at last given a moment alone. What quiet comfort I could take in such a moment without the rattling and prattling of other guests in my ears. Just me and my thoughts of my father, Bernat. We'll lose additional stress, which we have no stress remaining. I and the other mourners take a reprieve from our grief to enjoy a great bounty of food. Another adventurer captain, usually the lifeblood of any feast, now sits across from me misty-eyed with an untouched goblet. How can we make ourselves fat and merry in times like these? Empty your goblets in libation. There is a wisdom in it. So I think, join in the offering. We gain some legitimacy. And Amalrich and Thierry as well have become friends with Duchess Bothild. She really has bloomed after. It's impressive that she has not lost her will to live after what happened to her. Important nobility, far too great in number to pass by the enshrouded body of my father, Duke Bernat of Toulouse, granting him little more than a simple bow or nod, as though such a gesture was sufficient to show one's reverence for a life. My heart weighs as heavy as my pockets, full of trinkets and memories. I can't help but wonder why I should get the hoard of objects which rightfully belong to him. Perish that thought. This is just your insecurity speaking. You are carrying the family forward from now on, so that is what we'll be doing. And now we're waiting for the burial. And now the time has come to commit his final rites before his journey into the hereafter. It is beautiful, after all. We're giving him a proper Catholic burial, and perhaps I will too be remembered as fondly as the Duke. At last his body is lowered into the earth, and the funeral is officially completed with a prayer. Okay, and with that, I think the funeral is officially over. Yes, we finished the funeral. Many people have come to visit, and I think we have seen him and his wife off into the afterlife successfully. I have taken over guardianship over Charles, son of Ebon and Cécile, who was on my father's care, my late father's care. So I shall see his education through towards the end. Other than that, we have very few children now at court, because most of them have moved out with the rest of my families to their respective courts in the countryside. Given that we have very few children at court at this point, Volkart von Nassau for now is going to actually be educating whoever is at court, and Ermesens is advancing research, which should help with the experience gain. We are getting. We could get Volkart to help with that as well, but I think just educating the court at this point is a good use of his skills. Volkart really has come through as the main educator, and has done an amazing job at that. And Charles, who's at age 15 now, has become my friend. Which is great to see that showing my face does not scare off the children, and actually has some positive effects. So it's good that I took that duty over from my father and not left him to his own devices. I am happily soaking at the bathhouse, sharing deep reflections and jokes with Raoulf, my brother. As I feel all tension leaving, I realize that it's not just the warm water loosening my muscles. I am genuinely having fun, and it's all because of Raoulf's company. Until we discovered our common passion for bathhouses, we hadn't had any chance to really interact or get to know each other that well. Now I really look forward to our regular rendezvous here, as we are always filled with laughter and merriment. A toast to Raoulf, and with that, Raoulf will become my friend, who is currently not wearing any clothes. So let's see what YouTube says about that. But we have made another friend. So Aldéric finally starts. Volkart has been his friend for a long time. My nephew Thibaut, Charles, and now my brother Raoulf. I still don't know what Antoine was on about, but we'll have to keep a very close eye and see what happens here. Okay, Tackle von Nassau has come of age, and he is actually very qualified in stewardship. So it might actually be not bad to keep him around, although he is not as good as who we have. So not an awful lot that we can do there. I think I'll leave Bothild as just assist ruler, because I could get additional stewardship, but I don't think that is having an influence on the actual domain taxes. It does. So would that, if we get her to help manage if we get her to manage the domain, that'll increase the monthly income. So we'll do that instead. That is a good idea. And our steward is helping to increase the development in Toulouse. And we're still constructing another castle in Montauban. And with that, the Duchy of Toulouse is, once again, reasonably well organized. We have Duke Aldéric, who is still maintaining a relatively large military force, which is putting a strain on our coffers. So we may have to consider if we need to decrease the size of this force going forward, if we need that many men to defend the kingdom. But we shall see. For now, as things stand, Toulouse is at peace, the Empire of Francia is at peace, and no mighty deeds yet are to be done.